When children reach a certain age, they typically don't want to be seen with their parents. Trust me, I know. But now that remote learning has brought school home, some kids can't get away from mom and dad, even in the classroom. Take a look.
Hi, Dr. Ann. Now that my school switched to remote learning, my mom is starting to embarrass me a lot more. She's telling me to raise my hand, checking to see if I'm paying attention, hovering in the background to see if I'm listening. Is this normal? What should I do?
To get the Zoom parents under control is parenting expert Donna Tetreault. Donna, thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Dr. Ian. Thanks for having me.
Well, I just feel like that video is like my home life, you know what I mean? So for students who are learning remotely right now, what age actually is okay for a parent to really be part of the Zoom call?
Look, it's going to depend on the kid for sure. Kindergarten through second grade, they're probably going to want mom around. You could have mom at one end of the table and kid at the other end of the table, and they're both working kind of in a parallel way. Maybe there could be a little red card that kid could indicate to mom, hey, I need your help, so that that child doesn't disrupt the rest of the kids in the classroom, but letting mom know, I need to find my math book or I can't find it. I was a kindergarten teacher before I was a journalist. It's hands-on. Teachers are there, hands-on, helping those kids. So being available, but not intrusive.
Sure. And you say instead of the helicopter parenting, this is the time to teach your children how to actually advocate for themselves. Give us some examples.
Yeah, and I think it's a good thing to think about Maria Montessori. She was the Italian physician and educator who had her own teaching method, the Montessori method. And what she said was, when a child is working on their own, that is success. It's as if the teacher does not exist. So that's what you want to get for your kids. You want your kids to be able to work on their own without you. And so what you can do is you can help your child understand that if they can ask their teacher, you know, if they need help, what does that look like in this Zoom world? You might have to help your child learn how to write an email to their teacher to ask for help. I also think it's important to allow your child to advocate for themselves with you as the parent. Right. So if a child says, hey, mom, dad, I've got this, step back, allow your child to tell you that and accept it and let your child work on his own.
And Donna, you and I know it's not always easy to do that, but it should be done. But, you know, parents still feel like there's certain things they need to be part of when it comes to the child's Zoom lesson. So what should they consider before they decide they actually need to sit in?
If you think about it, your kid went to school on their own, right? And they were in the classroom on their own, right? So allow your child to do for themselves. This empowers your child. This builds resilience. We don't want to helicopter so much that we are telling our child, we don't trust you. We have to let our kids know, I trust you. You've got this.
Yeah. Well, and they will have this, of course, but there are still boundaries that need to be created. So how can families create these boundaries and still be responsive to the needs of the child?
So what I think you have to do is every child should really be in their own room if it's possible. I know that it's not always possible, but they should have their own space. I also think it's okay to give your kid a cheat sheet, you know, have that schedule up that they can see and they know where they have to go from the next to the next to the next. Also, you know, a child, if they have a time to meet you maybe for lunch in the kitchen or in the backyard, that's when you can check in with them and say, is everything going okay? Do you need any help from me? Or are you handling it? So it's really setting up these boundaries, letting them have their space, but letting them know I'm there for you too, kind of like a little coach.
Absolutely. Well, Donna, great advice. I love, by the way, the lunchtime backyard catch-ups. It just allows you to see what's going on and then plan for the rest of the day. So thanks for all your great tips.
Thank you for having me.